Taking history on the move, a recent study determined that it is feasible to move the St. Johns River Lighthouse off Naval Station Mayport to a place where the public can access it. Our Zach Wilcox is live tonight just outside the base. And Zach, that lighthouse has been a fixture for as long as really anyone can remember.
Yeah, Heather, it was here for nearly 100 years before the Navy even ever set up shop, but it's not particularly easy to get to these days, what with this barbed wired fence running behind me here. And as you mentioned, the plan that was just deemed feasible by a study would be essentially, in a nutshell, that if you can't get the public to the lighthouse, to get the lighthouse to the public.
I enjoy it because I live in the neighborhood. I know it's here. It's like my own private lighthouse.
Marie Lyon Carney can look off her front steps and see the old St. Johns River Lighthouse. Although she's looked at it every day for the 4 years she's lived in Mayport Village, she's never been to the top.
I've never been invited by the Navy to do that, darn it.
That's because there's a fence separating her neighborhood from the lighthouse, which was built back in the 1850s but was decommissioned in 1929 before the Navy moved in to create Mayport Base. But she may be able to take on the steps at some point in the not too distant future.
Make sure that it's restored and set up so it will be there for our children, our grandchildren, and forever, really.
Dan Hogan says the Mayport Lighthouse Association's first proposal was to move the fence for the Mayport base so the public could get to the old lighthouse.
They said no, it's too much of a sensitive location.
So the plan on the table now is to move the lighthouse itself about a quarter of a mile away on the other side of A1A, where a house already stands that Hogan says could function as a museum at the base of the lighthouse.
The plan is to take the top off, saw the tower off at the current ground level. They have a diamond studded chainsaw that they can cut it off with, lift it up hydraulically, and put it on the crawlers.
Hogan says a study determined it to be about $6 million between the move and the restoration. It's a lot of time and planning, but for Hogan, it's a personal mission to shine a light on the history.
I remember seeing that lighthouse out the window of the school bus, and I believe that's the first lighthouse I ever saw.
And Hogan told me he's hoping he's not still talking about this 5 years from now, so he's hoping to get the ball rolling here if they can get some federal funding, some state funding, local funding, private funding, whatever money they can get their hands on to get to that $6 million number. And I did reach out to a spokesperson for Mayport who mentioned that the Navy supports moving the lighthouse if everything is done up to all the standards that are set. So at least that's one less hurdle with getting this thing anchors away. In Mayport, Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side.